hey. Share to my group real quick. Thank goodness the computer's working better today than it has been. Yay. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. Turn the volume off. I don't need to hear myself talk. Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Friday, Trina. Good afternoon. Guys, I'm trying to remember what I saw yesterday. Because my plan was yesterday to work on the ghost bow and make another bat bow. But I saw something somewhere, and I can't remember, and it made me think mushrooms. So I was like, what do I have that I can make mushrooms out of? And I was like, I need to start practicing with the chicken wire because, you know, Sunday is close of voting. If you haven't voted for your choice of mannequin lady that we're going to do, this is the fairy and this is the Victorian lady. So you can see the Victorian lady, she's winning pretty much by a landslide right now. So, which, if I'm honest, I'm a little relieved of because I was a little nervous to do the wings. I mean, I've never done that before, done any of it before. So, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun thing to try. So, but welcome, welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Christelle. Not Crystal, Christelle of Christelle's Country Creations. So, yesterday I got some styrofoam balls. And actually, I'm going to show you an idea that I have later involving a bottle of wine. We all like that, right? But, this is the little guy that I just finished making this afternoon. Look. Oh my goodness. It turned out so flippin' cute. I actually didn't think it was going to turn out so cute, but I'm kind of in love with it. Oh, Samantha. Hi, sweetheart. You vote Victorian too? I'm kind of doing that too because I think a hat would be easier to make than the wings. But, hi, sweetie. All right. Let me make sure that I can see everybody's comments. Isn't it cute, Trina? Yay! So all you need for this little guy, I'm going to pan down real quick and I'll show you. There we go. So all you need to do this project is some skewers, like barbecue skewers, anything sharp and straight that'll go through. Some styrofoam balls. Now, the styrofoam balls that I used on this one is the smooth one. But I'm going to demonstrate one using, and these were purchased at Hobby Lobby. The other balls are purchased on Amazon, different sizes. And then these cones I purchased at Amazon on Amazon also. I bought them sometime during Christmas, but they didn't come in time because I was going to do a different project with them. And I got a few different sizes. Unfortunately, I don't have a really big size. So just on Amazon, they weren't very expensive at all. Smooth, I think, could be better, but we'll find out. I mean, I haven't tried it on this one. The only thing you have to know is if you use the porous styrofoam, that you will have to cover the whole thing in spackle. So let's give it a try and see what happens. So the other things that you'll need is some paint, okay, a little bit of sandpaper, and as most of you know, I use this on my mannequin heads, just about for everything. So spackle, Home Depot, Walmart, anywhere. If you have E6000, you can use that. This is just Gorilla Glue. I have a little knife here that I use. It's a wooden, it's for like sculpting. something to hold your skewers. So I just used a ribbon holder, guys. No big deal at all. Just grabbed a couple of these. So you'll need some paint brushes. And I'm using like these Dixie cups or whatever, Chinette cups, because once you start putting this spackle on this, it will want to flip upside down. So you can do that in there. And then also with the little guys, once you do the bottom, you can, so just things I found around the household. These cups I actually use for another project that, I don't know, for like the last year I've been wanting to teach you guys, but I just don't ever seem to get around to it. So anyway, so hi Virginia, hi sweetie. I don't know why my comments are way up there. I don't. Anyway, so mostly stuff you really have in your craft supply stuff. When we go to paint, I will tell you the colors and stuff, but I will zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Need to bring this down so I can see. All right, so we're going to zoom in kind of right here. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, I don't recommend cutting styrofoam. I have a really big piece of styrofoam over there that I cut. Cutting it outside, definitely a better idea than cutting it inside. Of course, wear your protective whatever, don't hurt yourself. So you can cut this in half so you can use both sides, or you could make it a little interesting and cut just a little bit off, but we would waste that. So I'm going to cut it a little off center because I want to try something. I'm trying not to make such a mess because I made, like literally, I had to go in the house and get the vacuum because I had styrofoam everywhere. It obviously cuts better if you use a serrated and not a like a flat knife, you know. So, alrighty. So, get your styrofoam pieces. This will still make totally cute, cute, cute. And this one, well, I think we'll try something a little fun with that. So I kind of got everything done like in steps. Obviously, this is the finished product here. And these are at different stages. So let's get our fingers dirty. Before I show you how to finish those bits, we'll get this one going. These cups work great. Actually, yesterday when I started this, I had a glass of orange juice out here and I just used my cup from in the house. So it'll work. Okay, so time to get some stuff under your fingernails, right? So I start with the bottom, doing the gills, the gill pieces. So this is the part that we're going to start first. See all those gills? Well, I tried to make them look like gills, you know. So that's the part I start with first. So just grab you a dollop. I'm using a bigger dollop on this one because I want to try something different. This one will take a while to dry. So I do try to stay away from the center where I will be putting the stick to attach the bottom. So I'm trying to go kind of thick. This will take a while to dry, so I'm just going to do this, show you how I do this bit, and then we'll set this part aside. You know the mushrooms that have the sides that kind of come up a little bit? I want to do one of those. So I'm kind of, in my mind, that's what I'm kind of envisioning on this one. Always got to make sure your lid is on that stuff or they'll dry out. So, I mean, it's messy, you know, but it's fun. Just get your fingers into it. right? So I want to bring this up on this side a little bit. So remember, this one is porous, so you'll have to cover the whole thing unless you want that look. You don't have to if you want the look not smooth, just paint it the way it is. So I want an unusual shape for this one, so that's why it's looking so weird. So you just got to have fun with it. Use your imagination. Think about the gills. Like, we have a lot of mushrooms that grow in some parts of the mountains here in Colorado. So they're not all perfect, you know, they're all kind of different. And I definitely want like a thinner side and a thicker side to make it a little more interesting. Anybody make these before? I haven't made them before. But mushrooms are so, oh, I know. I was on Craft Outlet. That's what I was doing. I was on Craft Outlet looking for something, and I saw all their mushrooms. They have mushrooms like in all different colors, you guys. Pinks and yellow. I mean, just every color you can imagine. So if you use the porous one, it will take longer. So just kind of smooth out the center. Don't get it perfect because you're going to be doing your gills in there and stuff. So, see, I'm just going to make it a little bit unusual. And if you get too thick, do it in layers. I don't want to get much thicker than I am there. But all through the top, this porous bit, you're going to need to take some of this, okay, and spread it on and smooth it out into all those holes. And if you do like 2 layers of that and then you sand it when it's dry, it'll be just as smooth as the other one. Okay? Stage 1. I'll show you how I do the gills, though I'll have to smear it out when I'm done because this one will take a lot more time. So all I do is I use my wooden tool, right? And I come all the way out, close together. And this one, the gills are going to come out onto the side once I get it done. It's going to kind of look more bell-like in my mind. So, and that's all I do, is I go from the center out all the way around underneath. Okay? So, easy peasy so far, right? It's all your imagination on how you want to shape it and how you want it to look. But if you get too thick, it'll have big cracks in it. So this one will probably take about 3 layers to kind of get more of that bell shape. So I'm going to set this one over here, out of the way. Okay. Your hands will get all kinds of messy. All right. So, this one is finished, like the gills, I finished it. Okay? And I just, from the inside out, And then just take, kind of get any big pieces off. Okay? And then I've got some sandpaper. This is 150. I have some other sandpaper over there. But I'm just taking off the big bits. Okay? This grade of sandpaper is not going to take off a lot. And these bits that are around the edge, now you can do it so it's flat, but it does give a little bit of interest later if you leave just a little bit of it. So my other idea, so last year I remember seeing one of the gals, Angel with Holiday Baubles, and then I saw someone else do it too. I can't remember who else did it, but they had these mushrooms that were like tall and silver. Do you guys remember those? And they did like centerpieces with them. Oh, I couldn't find those anywhere last year, and I really wanted to make one. So I just decided this year I'll make my own. So, is everybody at work? Okay. So, all the sides are not perfect, right? We left a little bit of character. Okay. So, let me try to keep my area clean. Okay. See, if you try to set it down, it just flips right over. It's like one of those roly-polies. You guys know what a roly-poly is? When I was a kid, we used to play with roly-polies. I don't know what their real name is. Anybody know what their real name is? Roly-polies? Okay. So once you have the gills of your mushroom done, then it's time to move on to the bottom. But let me show you. Okay, with your skewer, just take care that you don't stab yourself, okay? Go in the center, as close to the center as you can get, and if you kind of twist your skewer and go to the top, your goal is to come out as close to the top as you can. It kind of gets twisty-tailed around in there a little bit, so go slow or you will stab the crapola out of your hand. Okay, I can feel it wants to come up right here, but I don't want it to go right there, so I'm going to back up and move. See how I'm pushing my thumb? I'm kind of moving that a little bit. Now it's going to come out more of the top, or close to it. Okay, this one is off-centered, but that's okay because we'll probably end up taking off the top bit anyway. Okay, because that way it fits into the bottom of the skewer or the bottom of the mushroom. Then I just take my glue. You can use E6000. This is just what I have available. And I just put some glue around the top and push it forward a bit. And then I just put some on the bottom. If you do it at this stage, you usually won't get it all over your hands. So, then just get your glue on there really good. And it doesn't matter how much you leave up here because you'll end up cutting off the top, because we will measure how much room we have for the skewer. And it's better if this small part right here that's really thin is just cut off, because that's not going to give you as much support, okay? Yay! Okay, so that part's done. And then I just waited for the glue to dry. Actually, I used a blow dryer. I keep freezing on my computer, so I hope I'm not freezing for y'all. Okay, so then what I did, so this one has like the bump. You know how mushrooms sometimes will have that bump in the middle? And then this one, I only had it go down. So there's no bump on this one. Same thing with that one. So I'll show you how I got the bump. It's super, super easy. Not a problem at all. Guys, am I frozen? Because I'm frozen on my computer. And I haven't had, there's no message, there's no comments. Would somebody just do something? So I know if I'm just talking to myself, which is fine. I talk to myself all the time. All right. So just grab you a little dollop of your stuff, of your whatever spackle you decide to use, okay? Oh, I'm unfrozen now. Okay. All right. So I just take it and kind of put the dollop around the middle, okay? And it will stick to the smooth surface. Sometimes you may have to play with it a little bit, but it will. So you're just making it like a hug all the way around, okay? And you don't want it to be real smooth, okay? Then what you're going to do from, I don't know, just beneath, you're just going to drag it down. See this? You're just making the bump and you're dragging this down. And it's cooler if it's not perfect. Like really, just glob it on there and then use your finger and pull down. It's better if there's some rough spots. So, like really, don't work hard on trying to get all those globs off there, okay? And then you're just going to turn it over and pull from the front. Remember, you got the glue on there. So we're just pulling this way now. We're leaving that ring in the middle to create the illusion of that little part on the mushroom. Don't know what that's called. Looks cool in the in these. Okay, that one might be a little bit too much. So then you're just going to leave it, okay, and let it dry. Like, it really does make a really interesting look, okay? So, and then I'll show you on this one. If you don't want that on there, that bump, no worries. So just grab we only need just a little for this guy. So just hold it with your finger because it will go down the pole. And just start at the bottom. This just adds a little bit of textural interest on your mushroom. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, of course. You know, you make it yours. But, hey! Yes, hi Vicky! Vicky boy! It does. Yeah. Healing, wait a minute, it has a lot of health benefits. I'm on enough stuff right now. I don't need anything else. But, so, and then you could just leave it like that. And then, of course, you know, this stuff turns white when it's dry. So, easy peasy. Let me get I can't stand it when I get everything underneath my fingers. I'm so messy with that. Okay. All right. Okay, so once you get that, you let it dry, okay? And then just use your sandpaper, okay? On the one that's just straight, like this, just take off your rough edges as much as you want until it's your desired look, okay? And it doesn't take a lot, guys. Then leave some interesting character details in there, and your mushroom will turn out so much better. Cool. All right. See, that took no time. I'm going to leave all that detail on there because it just adds interest, okay? Just adds interest. All right. Now, when it comes to the one that you've got like this ridge around the middle, don't sand around the middle if you can help it, okay? Just go from the top up. I mean, if there's some obvious pretty good, you know, things, do sand it off. But so, all right. So we did the top. Now just flip it over and do the bottom here. Now I haven't priced these out, doing them myself, because I was just planning on making some for me, but we'll see how it goes. But they're not too expensive. A little timely, right? Okay. And then leave it just kind of rough like that. Okay. Yay. Okay. All right, are we done with the messy bit yet? Not quite. Okay. So the bottom is done on that. I have a little one here that I'm going to put on this little one. Okay. So I did the bottom. So there's the gills on the bottom. But I wanted it to have a little bit more shape on the top of it instead of being so round. So I put a glob on there and then I just pulled it down. And then I sat here with the blow dryer for like 15 minutes trying to get it to dry before the live. Because I wanted to show you, you can do things, you know, do different tops on it. Because I was like, man, I wish it looked more, you know, like the taller top mushrooms. And I was like, duh, I can do it. So all right. Now you probably want to get it as smooth to the styrofoam as you can with this one. But maybe not, you know, it's all your personal preference on what you want to do. And it's not quite dry on the inside. On the outside it's dry, but I tried to dry it too fast. So I'll kind of leave it alone a little bit. But we'll do the same thing with this one. It's still too wet. Okay? So that one will be cool. I'll have to show you pictures of that later when it's dry. All right, let me use my wipe here. Oh, who's going to Petals and Plume, guys? So wish I could go. Who's going to be going? Anybody? I really, really want to go. Anybody know how many people are like an event like that? Like how many people in the audience and everything? Kind of wondering. All right. Now, paint. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to paint it. So let me start with this guy here. This had our gills. So these are the paints that I chose for this one that I already finished, okay? The darker color is Teddy Bear Brown. I just got this at Hobby Lobby. And I just have a bunch of brushes here. You know what, these brushes are trash brushes and the things come off all the time, but I use them for a lot of things, so I must like them. All right, so I am just going to, and I'm just trying to really get this in the grooves. Okay, trying to paint up all those grooves. And I should just pour some out. Let me pour some out instead of trying to be lazy. This is just my bowl that I use for paints all the time, over and over and over and over and over again. Hi, Kay, are you going? Oh, is that what you're saying yes to? You're gonna go? I hope you have so much fun. I really, really, really want to go, but my anxiety is, I don't know how many people will be there, blah, blah, blah. Well, I laid there last night and thought about it, and I was like, could I do it? Could I, like, be around that many people? I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, in August. Yeah, I even looked at plane tickets and was like, can I swing it? But I better get my butt in gear and maybe make some more bows. Right? Oh. So we're just getting that paint down in there. And I just need to be more generous and dump this out. Usually I always do too much paint and I end up wasting some. I'm trying to be a little more conscious. Okay. I just really want this color really down in all those grooves. All those little hiding spots in there. Not Easter. Did I say Easter? I probably meant to say either. Yeah. Okay. Now I did think about going just a little bit darker, but I tried to keep all my colors in one scheme. But hey, this is a fantasy world. We don't have to, right? And then come up around the edges just a little bit. Get that little bit that you had going on there all the way around. Now I will say with the red, as it was in my house too, red took 4 coats to cover nicely. So then we just let that dry. Okay, and then around this center here of the mushroom here, that band, all I did was try to shove this in that whole band area. Okay. Now I am definitely not that great of a painter. I try, but I could do better. You know, my skill level I need to work on. So I don't want to spray out anymore. Okay. Okay. I mean, I could use a better brush too. But I don't know, I just like these brushes. I like what they do. All right, so then I took this color. This color is called Natural Buff. And I did use it, but I just took off the lid instead of taking off the plastic. I'm a lazy girl today. No, actually I'm not. I got so much done today. You would have been amazed to see. Okay, so all I'm doing is grabbing some of that color, that buff color, and I'm coming up and I'm painting the top part of this mushroom. I just don't want any of the true white like shining through. I am not as relaxing to watch paint as Iveth is. She's nice and quiet. She knows what she's doing. All right. Alright, so I had it like that, and then I just added a little bit of white on my brush, and I just kept the brush with the color and everything on it. And I just kind of, not dry brush, but just brought a little bit of white kind of on the tops and stuff. And tried to blend it all in. You know, because it's not supposed to be perfect, right? It's supposed to have just little peaks of, maybe not quite that much. Okay, so after I did that, So after I finish painting, so this one has it, yes. After I finish painting it, can you see the coating that's on there? So I hardened it a bit to make sure that it was going to like be a little more resilient, because sometimes spackle cannot be resilient. And so I put on this Mod Podge hard coat. I got this at Michael's. So I put that over what I painted, of course, after it was dry. And I'm not done with this one yet, but this one is not dry. So let me see. Let me see if we can do a little bit of the hair dryer and not be quite so loud. I'll put it on low. Been using the hair dryer all day, so I'll just put it on low. Try to get this dry so that we can do a little bit of dry brush on the top of it so that the gills stand out. So the red that I used, like I said, it took 4 coats. But it wasn't bad. It didn't take very long. I had my dryer out so that I could just, you know, try to hurry up and dry in between coats. So it didn't take too long. Your first one always takes the longest. Okay. Ooh, see how that wants to flip right over? Okay. So I'm going to take this white that I used over there, okay, and just drag your brush along the top. Don't put too much paint on there. Start with a little bit and then you can add more. Get a little more white. I'm getting kind of a brown color and I don't want the brown. Okay, so anybody have any great plans this weekend? Oop, that's way too much. Dang. I don't know what I thought I was doing. All right, so we're just brushing, trying to pick up against the grain, okay? Don't go with the grain or it'll go into all of our little holes. There. See how we did that? Cool. Okay, once we get this bottom done, let me dry this again. Nobody's doing anything over the weekends? Everybody's still at work? Got the volume off? So I tried to do enough of these that it would be staged so that I wouldn't have to do this, but I just didn't have enough time. I was really hoping we'd do a sneak peek at the bow, the ghost bow, but I didn't quite get it done. So if you haven't voted on your mannequin lady, don't forget to tell me what you want. The Victorian or the Garden Fairy. So far, Victorian girl is winning. So far, the Victorian girl is winning. I'm a little relieved, I must say, because I was a little nervous about trying to figure out how to do wings. I was looking at wings yesterday day before yesterday, on Pinterest. Trying to get some ideas of how I wanted them to look. Well, that's how I got the idea of doing the wings that look like that. Not just simple butterfly wings. We have to have fairy wings. So, but I'm using up my mannequin lady. So, and if you're just joining, this is the hard coat Mod Podge. And if you don't read this, it says specifically, do not shake. I didn't know that. So, Oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't do a hard coat underneath. I only did it on top. So let's do the hard coat on here. And I was pretty liberal with it because I just wanted a nice protective coating on that part of the mushroom. So just like that. All right, but now that it is that we can turn it over, we can do the top. So when I did the top, you could do, if anybody has like that clay, the air clay, you could do it that way. I, again, just use spackle. And see all these little white dots? In here, if I can get close enough, on this, do you see like the little, there's like these little dots. Can you see that? Probably can't, the lighting. Anyway, there's like these little round, every once in a while there's like a little round dot that has like texture to it. I don't want that texture on my mushroom, and so I thought, you know what, heck, why not take some of my spackle. And so I grabbed spackle and I just did like a little snake. Boy, for someone who doesn't really like to get her hands that dirty, I am sure getting them dirty today. So I just kind of did that. Where'd my rag go? But these are so fun. I'm thinking about making a whole bunch of like fun colors, you know, like fun colors. So then I just took and I cut off little pieces, different sizes. Don't be like don't make them all like the same size. So, and then all I did, anywhere that there was one of those little things, I just put one of my little things. So it kind of looks like warts, right? And they're random sizes. And I will say, if it doesn't want to stick, or later when you start painting it comes off, you can glue it back on. Or you can use your what's that called? Air clay. And don't make all of them perfectly circular. If you've seen a mushroom out in the wild, like all the little things on it aren't round, like completely perfectly round. They're kind of different. I suppose, well, I don't know. I don't work enough with the air clay to know if you can sculpt with it, kind of like how we did with the little band. Does anybody else work with that, the air clay enough to know if you can do that or not? Like instead of like the spackle, can you use just the air dry clay? I don't know if it can be manipulated like that or not. So not all of them are perfectly round. Some are deeper, some are, you know, some are thinner, some are deeper. Just make them all kinds of, you know, each one different. So this one, this next one that I'll paint, I'm thinking about doing kind of more orangey. Because in the mountains here, it's kind of more orangey than that. So anywhere that there's one of those little spots here that has that texture to it, I am literally just putting one of these circle things. So just a few more. So is everybody quiet? What's going on? Everybody's at work? Is everybody working? And some of them are not round. I don't want them round, all of them. I mean, I know it's usually quiet in here, guys, but Man. Is there anything going on that I need to know about? Craziness in the world. Okay. I think this one's the last one. So we're just, okay. So some are perfect, some are not perfect. They're all just kind of different. Can you see that? Is my camera washing, or my lights washing this out too much, do you think? So then you just let that dry. Put this dollop back in there. And you guys know if your stuff starts to dry out too much, just put a little bit of water back inside and close the lid, and it'll get pink again. Well, a lighter kind of whitey pink, but okay. Well, that's going to take longer than I have. So, let's do, that was not dry. Dang, it's not dry, you guys. Hey, Samantha. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to show you how to adhere it, okay? I don't want to have to turn the blow dryer back on. But when you go to put it on, it should be glued on. So this one has got the Mod Podge hardener on it, so it's a little bit harder. You're going to put this in here with the glue. All right. So we're going to put some glue down here. We're going to be cutting off the tip, okay? And be generous with this stuff because there's no hot glue. I didn't use any kind of hot glue. I didn't want any kind of hot glue, okay? And wire cutters. So how you know how much you can keep this is put your stem on there. That would obviously come out the top. You don't want it to come out the top, okay, obviously. So, and actually the piece where it starts to get narrow isn't going to give much support. So I'm just going to cut this at an angle so I have a little bit of a point to work with, okay. That still might come through the top, so we're just going to cut a little bit more off. And then just kind of do a little measuring. I think that should be good. Okay. Then all you're going to do is stick it in the middle. It does help to twist your bamboo so that it doesn't, now this one's not quite dry. It does help to twist it a little bit. And you just twist it until it gets just right. Can you see that? Nice. So obviously I did not put these together until both sides were painted, okay? And this one is still a little bit soft. So, but you can make, look at how cute that is. Even though it's not painted yet, and it probably can't be painted until tomorrow because there's quite a thick glob of spackle on the top of there. But how flippin' cute is that? And look at the stem. We didn't make it perfectly smooth, and it totally looks like the stem of a mushroom, I think. So that's all you got to do, guys, to get this cute, beautiful little mushroom, right? And then you can leave this stem on and you can put it in a centerpiece or something. So very cute, totally adorable, and it's sealed because we used our sealant and our hardener on it. So it's you can put it in a centerpiece, you can do anything. I think that I am going to even add a little butterfly. Maybe not that color. Should I do orange? See, it just depends on your color scheme of whatever you're going to do. One of these big monarchs would look pretty. Ooh, how fun is that? How fun is that, guys? And you made it for hardly anything. So, because I was noticing at Craft Outlet, they're cute and stuff, but some of the ones that I really liked at Hobby Lobby, they were too heavy. I can't use them in like wreaths and things. The super cute ones were like made of resin, and so they were way too heavy. So, but this is pretty light, so it can be used in all kinds of ways. So cute. I just love how it turned out. So, I'll see about doing another tutorial on, so this is our guy that's going to dry. I'll take pictures tomorrow, show you how that turned out. But I need to show you what I'm doing with the chicken wire, because we have I'm practicing with the chicken wire, guys. So let me zoom back out. Whoa. Okay, so this is some chicken wire that I put together, and I'm going to make a mushroom out of it, guys. Won't that be so cute? See this? So I want the bottom kind of oval, and I'm going to make a mushroom out of it. I have got, and I'll show you guys how to do this too if it turns out. So I took a flat piece of styrofoam that my husband had and I cut it, and I cut a circle, a big circle, in half. Then I put some glue in there, and then I put spikes going in all different directions, because then it will hold this bottom piece on. Okay, but this one's not going to go on this one, believe it or not. This is not for this one, because this one I am going to do out of chicken wire. And where's my mold? So if you're messing with chicken wire, it helps to have a mold. Now I didn't for this one. This one took about 3 feet of chicken wire, and I just put it together. And of course, when you do, you got to make sure that there's no pokey bits, that it's smooth. But who has these? Remember these things? I've had these probably since 1990 or something. They're like big eggs, right? This is the top part of the egg. So I am going to take and use this kind of as a mold to do the top part of the mushroom that I'm making here. And it's going to come out, it's going to be quite large, and it'll come way out. So I'm looking forward to playing around with that. But I told you about, so a glass of wine, right? Everybody's got, well, not everybody. If you drink wine, you've got wine bottles and stuff around, right? This one, I cut the bottom out because I use it for other things too. Other crafty things. So I am going to take this, and I'm going to put spackle in here to fill the gap and make it smooth, okay? And then I'm going to put this on here at an angle, and we'll have a mushroom out of a wine bottle, right? You could just make this and put it on your wine bottles and keep it on your table for a tablescape, right? All you got to do is come in. You can come in straight if you want. It just gives it more interest if you put it in an angle. So I'll be putting a hole in at an angle, right? But you could make one of these tops mushroomy, right? Because we're going to do the same thing we kind of did here with all of our stuff underneath and on top. So it'll look a lot like our red one. But, I mean, what a cute idea. And then just have the bottle of wine on your table or whatever. So, couple fun ideas that I had. I've got a few more for mushrooms too. But I'll just share those with you for now. We'll save some of the other ones for maybe some tutorials or some reels. So I just wanted to share that with you. Let me put this down. So I know it's Friday. I know a lot of people are at work and stuff, but hopefully you'll watch this on the replay. And I hope that you guys have a good weekend. I don't think I'll be going live this weekend. We have a little family get-together on Saturday. Well, not the whole family, just a few of us are just having dinner. So, but anyway, and I won't be live on Monday. I have a special person coming up here, Samantha. Well, not this Samantha, a different Samantha. But, or you know, that's you, isn't it? I can't see anything. Anyway, special guest coming up is going to help me with all my techie stuff so that we can get those tutorials going with the bows and start getting some events going, free events, paid events, all kinds of events. So I'm so excited. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good long weekend, and I will see you next week. Don't forget Sunday, let me follow up here. So Sunday is the last day to vote whether you want the Victorian mannequin or the fairy mannequin. So don't forget to make sure that your vote is in. So far, Victorian lady is winning. And so, and if you wouldn't mind sharing this, and please send it to your friends and follow me on Facebook and everywhere else. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.